afternoon. Welcome to My Chamber TV. Yes, we are in the Hernando County Chamber of Commerce this week. Michael did a great job getting me a great lineup. We're going to come right out. We're going to talk food.
Yes, sir.
So you are Rookies Sports Bar and Grill, and you're located in Spring Hill?
Spring Hill, right off of Anderson Snow Road, right down the road from all the baseball, soccer fields, softball fields.
Oh, that's perfect for all the families to go and do their thing and then come in and just overload you.
Yes, absolutely. We love that.
So let's talk about what is Rookies?
Rookies is family operated, owned and operated. We opened up about 11 and a half years ago, going into our 12th year.
Nice.
And we pride ourselves in being a big part of the community. And we do a lot of fundraisers throughout the year. We raise a lot of money for different charities, for different families that come to Rookies that are in need or going through some hardships. And we look at ourselves more like the show Cheers that used to be, where everyone knows each other.
Yeah, right.
And so when you come in there, you'll see people mingling, within the restaurant, not just on the bar side. And we're all about sports. We show all our sports teams. All the sports games throughout the year.
You got the big game coming.
We got the big game coming. Looking forward to it. We were hoping the Bucks were going to be in there, but unfortunately that didn't happen.
Right.
So we'll take Kansas City and Philadelphia. We have a lot of Philadelphia fans that come to Rookies.
Oh, okay.
So we're looking forward to a great day. Matter of fact, you can reserve your seat if you go to Rookies. Reserve your seat for the big day.
Is it TV heaven when you walk in?
It's TV heaven. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big screens throughout the restaurant, and another additional 25 plus 50 plus inch screen.
It's a
TVs.
restaurant after my own heart.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. So you can't miss any game. Every game is on.
So now, are you full food?
Full food. We pride ourselves on our quality of food.
Right.
Our meat never hits the freezer. Our bread never hits the freezer. It's all fresh.
Nice.
We don't have a microwave in our kitchen. We never had a microwave in our kitchen since we've opened up.
I don't know any restaurant that I can actually say we don't have a microwave.
And we do not. We never have had a microwave.
How's the coffee?
The coffee's good.
So I'm a coffee guy. If you got good coffee, I'll come there all day long.
My dad's a big coffee drinker, so we make sure we have good coffee.
Right.
So our food is fresh, made to order. So it may take a little bit longer for your hamburger, but it's fresh, and it's never hit the freezer.
Wow. So and I ask all the restaurant guys this, how did COVID, because you're going into your 12th year, how did COVID kind of hit you?
COVID was a big impact to the restaurant industry as a whole, and to us locally. Fortunately, throughout the years of being a big supporter of our community, it was a big time that the community supported us.
Right. Okay.
And we had people just lined up outside our door to do to-go business.
Nice.
And they came to us instead of going to the chain restaurants. And they knew at the time that we needed them, and we still need them. We need them before COVID and after COVID, but we really needed them at that time because we didn't have no indoor business. It was all to go.
Right.
So, and we weren't a big to go establishment. Rookies is part of Experience Rookies. At Rookies.
Right.
And so it changed. It changed a lot of what we were doing, where we became a to go place.
Nice.
And now that's actually helped our business since then, because now people actually know us as a to-go business, not just an indoor business. Okay. So it's actually improved our business.
That's excellent. Now, what type of food?
Normal food, just burgers, chicken wings, salads.
Right.
We have a healthy menu as well as a fried menu, fried chicken. We've won awards for our food over the last 12 years. We've been #1 chicken wings, #1 burgers. We have a great Reuben, and we've hit. We have great kitchen staff, great kitchen manager.
Okay.
Great general manager who makes sure everything's running well. So again, we look at quality. We're not worried about obviously we want to be a profit business. That's what we're in business
Absolutely.
for.
That's correct.
But if it takes away from our profit to put a quality food item in there, that's what we focus on.
Yeah, I have no problem waiting for food as long as the food is going to be good.
Yeah.
It's when you wait a long time, you get there and you go, I waited for that, and you're like,
Right.
"Rrr." So how big is the place? It sounds like to me you can handle a lot of people.
Yes, we have. We hold over 200 seats.
Whoa.
Inside and outside.
Oh, okay.
The outside holds about 75 of those seats. So we hold big parties all the time, especially outside, but we can arrange for big parties inside as well.
Nice.
So we have plenty of room.
So other than the big game coming up, because you can't say the word, you get in trouble saying the word. But so other than the big game, what else you got going on?
Well, we have catering going on. We cater a lot of parties, especially during the holidays. And people, unless you know that we've catered you or you've experienced our catering, you don't really look at us as a catering place. But we go off of the menu because our chef is amazing. So we can do all kinds of things off the menu. So we've come out with a catering menu, and we're just ready for whatever you have to throw at us.
I'm glad you said that because, if I think of a sports bar and grill, I don't think catering ever, so that's a great thing. And you can handle big parties.
We handle private parties. We actually have done private parties for the Chamber of Commerce.
Nice.
Over the last few years. We do plenty of business parties that come in.
Right.
We do a lot of socials that come in. And we just closed down our bar for a big private graduation party, a college graduation party a couple of weeks ago, which was.
And they wanted you to close the bar down?
And they paid for it, So
Right.
so we're willing, we're willing to try anything.
Okay.
If there's an idea that someone has, come talk to us about it.
Okay. Now everybody, you got a website and social media and all that kind of fun stuff?
Yes, full website, all social media. That's where all our advertising takes place.
That's where it should be.
We don't do we don't do mail outs or commercials. We're a mom and pop restaurant.
Nice.
that works better than the chains.
That is absolutely. Now, where are you located? So if I
We're
wanna
at
come-
3095 Anderson Snow Road, which
Okay.
is at the corner of Anderson Snow and Spring Hill Drive. It's also known as Anderson Snow, could be Barclay also. But there's a Dunkin' Donuts on the corner there.
Right.
We're right behind that in the
Okay.
plaza.
Nice. Hours. What are your hours?
We open up 11 until usually during the week we're closed by 10 p.m.
Okay.
If there's a reason to stay open, we will never close. If there's people watching a sporting event, we'll stay open till they're done. But weekends will go obviously later. But we don't have any set hours as far as closing. It all depends on what the business is
The
doing.
crowd is. That's normal because that's not the norm. 'Cause
No, it's
normal
not.
like 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock's it. Got to get out.
Yes.
Yeah. But if you got a game going, you're like, oh, now I got to drive home.
Yeah, because there's restaurants out there that they'll actually come and find us, knowing that these other restaurants, some of our competitors, will close at their scheduled time of closing, and we'll never do that.
Billy, thank you for being on, man. I appreciate it.
Thank
Hey,
you.
stick around, everybody. Go get something to drink, some coffee, some tea, wine, beer. We don't judge. It's all good. Go hang out at his place for a little while, and then come back and watch the rest of the show. We'll be right back after these messages. So we're going to come back now and talk to Nikki Scarnati.
Yes.
Right? And you are with Spring Hill ISR.
Yes.
And you help save the babies.
I do. I teach children how to self-rescue in the water, so they are that much likely to survive if they were to fall in accidentally. They can self-rescue, find their air supply, and maintain their float until help arrives.
Nice. Yeah. So when does that kind of really kick in if they're infants?
Well, I would say really when they start to be mobile. So I take them as young as 6 months and crawling.
Okay.
So in that way, the risk of them falling in, they can still self-rescue the second they crawl. So the sooner the better.
So, okay, explain self-rescue.
So self-rescue, I teach children how to float in the water. So if they were to fall into the pool, they can rotate 180 degrees, find the air supply, and maintain that float until help arrives.
So they sit there and do the float.
Yep, they float.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And so that is something that once you've trained them, that kind of just kicks in?
Yes. So basically the science behind ISR is sensory motor learning, operant conditioning. So the idea is that muscularly, they're more likely to hold on to the skills. I believe it's 94% for 1 year after swim lessons.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is, so, okay, so we jumped right into this. What got you into doing this?
What got me into this? When COVID shut down, I was about 5 months pregnant. Of course, I had my daughter through the pandemic, and we have a pool in my backyard.
Right.
And it was very important to me to get her lessons just to give me a peace of mind that she would be able to survive. But in our area, we didn't have, I think there was only one instructor, and her wait list was very long. So I actually drove 30 minutes away to get my daughter lessons.
Wow.
And through that, I discovered I had a background in pediatrics, so I thought, maybe this is something that was meant for me. So I applied to become a swim instructor, got accepted into the program, and started that long process of becoming a swim instructor.
Wow.
Yeah.
See a need, fill a need.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's an old Disney
Save
movie.
the babies. Yeah, save the babies.
So you got into this. It's not like, you had that world already, the pediatric side, right? And so first, my question is, are you certified? And you already answered that question. And let's talk about that certification real quick.
Right. So ISR is #1 on the globe for safest swim lessons. Each ISR instructor has to be certified by a master instructor at a minimum of 80 hours in water with students. But before we're able to work with children, we have to do a background we have to do book work on anatomy, physiology, child psychology, then do the training in water. And it's really helpful to have that knowledge to be able to work with children, because there's not a one-size-fits-all approach to teaching a child. So I did the training and I did all that, and that's pretty much.
So you literally have to sit down with each child, because everybody's different, and you have to assess that child. Going, okay, I have to do this to make this work, and.
Oh yeah, each lesson is tailored. Lessons are one-on-one, so each lesson is specifically geared towards your child and what they need. We do a survey at the beginning of every lesson. It's called BUDS, and we evaluate their bowel, urine, sleep, and nap schedule, their sleep and diet schedules. And that, based on those answers, that will give us indications on how we need to tailor that lesson for that child for that day. Wow. And additionally, ISR does a medical background check on each child too.
Right.
So anything that's in their medical background, I'll get safety protocols assigned to that child, and that will also create changes in the lesson that I have to make sure that that child's safe is in water for that lesson.
Now, is this one-on-one, or is this in a group setting?
Oh no, lessons are one-on-one. So I only have one child at a time, and your child has my 100% undivided attention while they're in lessons.
That is fun. Now, okay, so the next thing is where do you do these lessons?
I teach out of my home.
Okay.
And again, I am certified and insured in the water for any of my students, so that insurance covers all that good stuff too.
But I'm one of these special moms, right? And will you come to me?
I do not at this time. My schedule doesn't allow it, but I do have a couple of other instructors in the area that do travel. Because we are a company and each of us run our own businesses through that company. So some instructors stay put like I do and teach out of one pool, and then other instructors travel.
I bet that's better for your liability insurance too, because for you to go to somebody else's house, now you're traveling, you have insurance that has to go with you, right?
Yeah, so the insurance,
your liability side.
Insurance that we have covers any body of water that we're working with students in, and then the addresses and such, we put.
So how long does this take? And I know every child's going to be different, but is there a kind of it kind of falls into this amount of time for them to learn? Yeah,
so lessons are one-on-one. Lesson structure is 5 days a week for 10 minutes a day, and the average session duration is 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay, 6 to 8 weeks. It just boggles my mind that you're doing infants and they retain 94% of this.
Yeah.
That is absolutely fun.
Yep.
So, what are your hours?
Well, that depends. My schedule fluctuates based on the need of the parent too.
Right.
So in the summer, typically I don't do late afternoon lessons because of the weather. So I'll start earlier. I'll start maybe 6:45 or 7 o'clock in the morning
Because of the storms and all that kind
and
of
to
stuff.
accommodate working parents,
Yeah.
since we're eliminating those evenings. And then typically in the spring and the summer, I go until about 6:30, 6:45.
So you have a
in the
heated
evening.
pool.
Oh, I do. I do. I would never get through it
saying,
without a
like,
heated
how
pool.
are you getting in the water and something? Because, you know, we've actually had some cold weather in Florida now. It's like, wow, you know, so that water stays nice and temperate.
Oh, nice and toasty.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So how booked up are you right now?
As of right now, I'm booked until about the beginning of April, I believe.
okay.
So April 10th, I have a session starting that I have availability for.
I don't know how we got you here today, but Michael did a good job.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, I'm just saying right now. So how do people get a hold of you?
My phone number, my website. I'm also active on social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff.
So you're not afraid of the talk?
No, no.
Yeah, I do see a lot of people, a lot of the, especially the younger ones. You guys are just, you're embracing it. I love it. I get lost in it, and I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
So what does it take to get started?
As an instructor?
No. For me, so if I want to call you, I'm going to go on your website, I'm going to book a thing. What's the process?
So you're going to go through my website. My website has a button that says schedule now,
Right.
and it'll bring you right to my scheduler. It'll show you my time slots, my availability for the entire year.
Okay.
And then you would book your time slot. You would pay your deposit, and that
Okay.
deposit also covers your first week's of tuition.
Wow. That's so if you could give one piece of advice to all the moms and dads that are watching this right now, what would it be?
What would it be? I would say beware of flotation, because it's more dangerous than you know. Flotation's meant for open water and vessels only.
Okay.
So get in the water with your child, play with your child, interact with your child, get your child used to needing you to get in the water, and they'll be less likely to veer to the water without you.
Oh, that's a great boy. Oh, yeah. You know, don't get in the water. Don't get in the water without mom and daddy. That's
Yeah, it creates
really,
a need.
really good. And so, what's the youngest?
6 months.
6 months.
Yep.
Okay. What's the oldest?
ISR says 6 years, but I've made an exception and taken a few older than that because
Okay.
they wanted to learn and I was willing to teach
What
them.
about adults that don't know how to swim?
I have a girl.
Because there are those adults
They
that
are,
do
and
not
I
know how
get
to swim.
messages about adults all the time.
Right.
I do not have the availability for it right now, but I do have someone local that I refer out to for my students that age out of my program, as well as adults who want to learn.
Nikki, thank you so much for
Thank
being on.
you.
Hey, look, if you've got a young one and you want them to learn how to swim, that's your girl right there. And if they can't get you, then you got friends,
Yep.
and you
Yep,
know
I have
people, which
friends.
is awesome. All right, everybody, stick around. We'll be right back after these messages. Hey everybody, welcome back. Man, we've talked eating, we've talked baby safety, and now we're going to talk about trees. And trees are a very big deal. We need them, right?
Absolutely.
So I've got Jovan Miller, and you are with, I'll make sure, Tree Care by Robert Miller, which was your dad. Am
Yes,
I
sir.
correct?
Yep.
You guys have been around since 90.
Yep.
So that means you're not fly by night,
Nope.
right?
I was 10 years old when my dad started tree care, so I've grown up in the business.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
were you up in the trees?
No, and I used to beg my dad to go work out on the crew. I was like, I did not want to be in this office.
Right.
Unfortunately, I did end up, in the office quite a bit.
Okay.
So,
Let's talk about everything that you guys take care of.
okay. So what we do is we take the customer's needs and wants
Okay.
and what's absolutely healthiest for the tree, and we find that perfect solution to accomplish both. So trees are living organisms, and people forget this, or it's you don't think about it.
No,
I didn't
you
think about it.
don't.
And so they're susceptible to different pathogens,
Okay.
bacterias, viruses, funguses. They have, an orthopedic surgeon has a specific way that he cuts your skin.
Right.
So that way it'll heal back together after
Right.
he sews you back up. It's the same thing with the chainsaw on a tree. There's a branch union where the tree has the cells to heal the wound properly. And if you don't go to school to study arboriculture, you'll cut that right off, or you'll cut out too far and it'll rot all the way to the heartwood.
So You guys are not just, you go whack trees down.
Nope.
You are arborists, right?
Correct. And so we also will talk people out of taking those trees down.
Nice.
They're extremely valuable.
Right.
They increase your property value. They sequester pollution, sound pollution. If you're on the side of a road, you know, a corner or whatever, they save your roof from having to be replaced soon. They have so many benefits, and they also protect your home in a storm, but only
if
they're healthy and have proper branch junctions.
Okay.
So what we do when we trim trees around somebody's house is we mitigate any potential failure spots.
Oh, okay.
So we suppress growth on some limbs so other limbs can outgrow and you have proper branch unions. And so it's actually quite complicated and scientific the way that we do what we do.
Right.
And it's a very hard message to get out.
Right.
It's, you know, I get really passionate about it, and I'll be out looking at someone's trees and they're standing there going, what? And my husband will look at me and he'll be like,
Stop.
I'm like,
stop
all right,
talking.
all right.
You know, because some people go, I just want it gone. Why do you want it gone?
Yeah.
It blows my mind when I'm driving down the street and I go by a house and they cut all the trees down and they're sitting out wide open. I'm like, well, why would you have done that?
Listen, I live on 5 acres out near the Withlacoochee State Forest, and somebody just bought a tract, beautiful piece of wooded property. They cleared the entire thing and are putting up a privacy fence. I'm like,
You already had that.
you had all the privacy in the world.
Hello.
And you took it all down.
Right.
And, you know, I also do wildlife rehabilitation. So yeah, I think to myself, how many animals were just displaced? You know, and
Right.
I'm just that crazy animal person.
Right.
I can't help it.
And there's nothing wrong with that at all.
And there's nothing wrong with people doing what they want with their property
Right,
either.
absolutely.
So
I get
it's
that.
you know, it goes both ways.
So do you guys handle all, like, do you palm trees and do you plant and do you move?
Transplant, we don't. We do plant sometimes.
Right.
Usually it's like a gift that we give a
Oh,
customer.
that's nice.
It's hard to transplant trees.
It is, isn't it? Okay.
They have to be watered every day, a
Right.
certain amount, depending on species.
Okay.
And then I don't like to be liable if the customer doesn't properly take care of the tree and then it dies.
Exactly.
And to be honest, that was more of my dad's thing.
Yeah.
That's what he used to say.
Okay.
So I do have to battle that sometimes, where I
Yeah.
learned so much from him that I kind of follow in a lot of his footsteps, but not all. So we focus more on trying to stop people from doing more damage to their trees than
Right.
what's necessary. Because like I was talking, a tree can protect your home in a storm because wood is designed by nature to bend and give.
Yes.
So if the branch unions on your tree are proper and healthy, the tree will take the brunt of the storm, not your house. Your house doesn't give in the wind.
No.
Right? So, you know, we try to educate people as much as we can.
So what are some signs that I need to start looking at to make sure my trees are healthy?
Let's see how to simply put this. Okay, the easiest way is there's a fork in a tree, and if it's a V shape, you maybe should have someone come and look at it. If it's a U shape, you should be all right.
Okay.
The technical way is anytime a branch exceeds 50% of the diameter of the trunk, you end up with an improper branch attachment. But that's not always.
Okay.
You really look for that V shape, because once you get a V shape, the bark on the branch, the two branches are growing against each other, creating a cavity.
Oh, so it kind of gives a rot point.
Correct. They grow against each other, so it
Right.
doesn't work. It creates like a hollow spot.
Okay.
And if we catch it soon enough, we can mitigate that. You
that's
suppress the growth on one,
Okay.
so the other one can outgrow,
Right.
and then thus our saying, save a tree, have it trimmed.
Right. So I know you don't plant, don't move, but if I have a big piece of property and I want advice, so I went, hey, look, I want to kind of wood this up. I want to put some stuff in. You guys are the people to call.
Absolutely. So I do a lot of arborist consultations where
Okay.
I'll walk your property and I'll tell you, listen, this is a great species. This is a good tree. This one over here is not that great. You have a
Right.
ton of trees. Let's thin them out so the ones you do have can flourish.
Right, because you can overcrowd.
Absolutely. And then the beautiful great trees won't flourish the way they should because there's just too many.
Right.
And then there's planting the right tree in the right place. You see this in subdivisions all the time. The developer came in and he leveled the land, put a whole bunch of houses, and planted a live oak 4 feet from the front door.
Right.
Tree lives 300-400 years, can get a diameter of 4 feet around, and so
It's going to look good in your front porch. Literally.
yeah. So you want to take into consideration,
All right.
and there's another really valuable source here, which is the extension, the UF extension offices.
Okay.
And I talk to Dr. Lester over there all the time.
Okay.
He's great too.
I've always just wanted to know, if I look at a tree and go, is that healthy or is it not healthy? Spanish moss, is it good for it? Is it bad for it?
It's indifferent. Spanish moss is an indication that there is something else wrong with your tree. This is something I argue with people about all the time. I'm like, no, listen, I'm sure of it. They're like, no, I'm sure it's killing my tree. I'm like, no, I'm sure something is killing your tree. So the deal with the Spanish moss is it thrives on sunlight. The foliage in a tree has to be reduced significantly for the moss to flourish.
Okay.
So the fact that there's not enough foliage or leaves on your branches that the moss can flourish indicates something else is wrong.
Something else is wrong. See, everybody, because I'm not from Florida, but I've always heard everybody say, "Well, if you've got Spanish moss, the tree's dying." And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't know that."
The biggest harm Spanish moss is if there's weak branch attachments, which there very well may be in a weakened
Now
tree.
we'll go look for the V's.
Yeah. When it rains real heavy,
Right.
the rain will collect in the moss and create a heavy load, and then you can have breakage. Right. So
Great. Thank you so much for being on.
Yes,
and
thank you for
we've had
having
your
me.
information up. Hey, look, I just learned something. Matter of fact, I'm going to probably book you guys to come to the house because I've got a tree that I'm a little bit worried about. Stick around. We got more guests coming. We'll be right back after these messages. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. And you know what? We got a crowd. Oh my goodness, do we have a crowd. You guys are with the Elks, the Brooksville Elks Club, and I think it's the 2582 Live, right?
Yes.
Am I correct? Yeah. We got Carr, we got Gary, we got Sherry, we got Nora. And today we're doing something different because everybody wants to talk, which is actually we're good with, we just got to figure out how to do it, right? So Carr, you are the
Exalted ruler.
exalted ruler, right? Now you tell everybody what to do and they got to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I want this man's job.
Whatever happens there, I get credit for it. They just do the work.
And if it fails, it was Nora's fault.
It was their fault.
It was Nora's
Oh, yeah,
fault.
no doubt about it.
So let's give us a history on the Elks Club.
Well, what I can give you for history of the Elks Club, it was actually formed February 16th, 1886. And it was basically a bunch of minstrel people traveling throughout the United States performing shows.
Okay.
And longing to form some type of thing. And they were basically Freemasons and based the Elks off the Freemason
Oh, okay.
foundation. okay?
Right.
It's changed a little. And it's based on the 4 principles of fidelity, brotherly love, charity, and
Justice.
justice. Thank you,
For
Thank
all.
you, Gary. And anyway, I'll move forward a little bit from 1886. The next thing major that happened with the Elks was in World War I, 1917, they realized that the federal government they didn't want to get in the war to begin with, hadn't made any plans to take care of the wounded veterans. And so they went and dug up $1 million, went over to Paris, France, and set up the first field hospital that the U.S. had to take care of their wounded. And in further thinking this thing through, they realized that as they took care of their veterans, they didn't have any way to care for them when they got back to the United States. So the Elks went into Boston, Massachusetts, bought a hospital, staffed it with volunteers from the University of Washington and from the University of Virginia.
Wow.
They ran it for quite a while. I'm not sure the time period, a year or
Right.
two. And then they turned it over to the U.S. government, and it became the very first veterans hospital in the United States. We'll move forward a little further to the 1920s. We had a couple, husband and wife, Harry and Anna Miller, and they lived in Eustis, Florida, and they had been fairly successful in life and realized that the state of Florida did not have and needed a children's hospital. So they went to Ormond Beach, Florida, bought an old hotel, renovated it, turned it into a clinic, hired doctors, nurses to run it, and it ran up into the late 50s, in which time they dispersed the hospital, but the Harry Anna Foundation still goes on, and they have now, we have 30 physical therapists that travel to homes of needy to take care of either mental or physical handicapped children.
Wow.
And along with that, they went and bought 400 acres of land in Umadilla, Florida. And they have given that to the Elks, and that is our campground for children. And so every summer we send kids, last year we sent 13 kids to summer camp. So we do a lot of charities, and based on what I've said, I'm gonna let the rest of them explain how all these charities work out. But my point being, with telling you about the VA and the Harry Anna project,
Right.
that's our two things of veterans and kids.
Wow. So we're going to jump back to Gary real quick. So Gary, what do you got to talk about?
So yeah, we would like for you to consider being a member of our Brooksville Elks Lodge. We'd like you to know that our doors are always open at our social events, during which are posted on our website for you to review our calendar. But once you decide to become a member, you'll find a role to participate in for the good of the lodge. There's opportunities for everyone on our committees: House Committee, Lodge Committee, Membership Committee, or you can choose to volunteer during our activities or our community events. So come be a part of our growing family at the Brooksville Elks Lodge, 2582 on County Line Road here in Spring Hill.
That's awesome. So I'm gonna jump over here real quick. I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna put this on Sherry. Oh, no, I'm not. All right, Miss Sherry, what do you got to talk about?
Well, I wanted to just briefly talk about the charity work that we do at the Lodge. So the Elks provides charitable services that help build stronger communities. Our Elks National Foundation helps by funding local service projects. Some of our key charities, as Carr mentioned and Gary, are veterans and children. The State Elks Association charitable projects are summer camp for children, in-home treatment for disabled children, children's hospitals for cancer research, and providing safe temporary havens for abused families. Our lodge in the past year, we partnered with People Helping People of Hernando County. We did a kids backpack program, which you fill backpacks with food so kids have food for the weekend. Sunday Blessings, every Sunday they provide meals for homeless, elderly, and low income every Sunday. And they do the Senior Blessings, which is delivering supplemental groceries to the elderly. We provided our lodge itself a spaghetti dinner to homeless veterans this year. We donated to the Hernando Life Center, which provides a safe place for homeless mothers with infant children. And we held our annual Foster Children's Christmas Party for over 100 foster children in Hernando County. And this month we will be providing homeless veterans with care bags. So we enjoy doing the work that we do and the people we do them with, which is our Elks family and friends. There's so much more that we could accomplish with our more hands. So we're hoping to increase our membership this year just to allow that.
Oh my goodness. Oh, we got one more. We're going to jump on this North talk.
Okay.
All right, Miss North, tell us what you got.
Well, I want to tell you first that we do rent our hall out. That's kind of a little plug for us. We have weddings, birthdays, celebration of life,
Bar
sweet
mitzvahs, bat
16,
mitzvahs.
anything like that, yes. But now that we know what we're about and what we do, come and have some fun. We have karaoke Tuesdays with lunch. We have fun night on Thursday nights when we all gather together and bowl or play shuffleboard. And we have dinner dances on Friday, steak shoots on Saturday. We have line dancing on Sunday. There's something for everybody. So come out and see what we do, have some fun, and join us.
So I have a question for you, Carl. We got a couple minutes left here. So anybody can be a Elks member?
There are only two requirements to
Okay.
becoming an elk. One is you must believe in God,
Okay.
and you can never have committed any treason against the United States.
I mean, that
Piece
should
of
be.
cake.
You have to be,
That should be
you have to
easy,
be,
right?
you have to be a U.S. citizen.
Oh, U.S. citizen? Okay. So here's what I'm going to ask you guys to do. I want to reschedule another show with you guys because I had no idea that you were, what you did. I thought it was like, you know, some good old boys club a long time ago. They all got together.
It could've
and, yeah, right.
That too.
But I mean, from the get-go, you guys have been helping from the
Yep.
start.
Yep.
I mean, truly the first VA. I mean, that's
Yeah.
huge, and with kids, you got kids involved. I'm a sucker for
And,
kids.
and
so.
Carr didn't mention it, but we do a table of honor where we invite veterans to come and have a meal with us, and we recognize them with our Lee Greenwood song,
Right,
Proud
yeah.
to be an American.
Right.
So there's a lot going on, and you're certainly welcome to come down
So-
and see us.
Where are you located?
We're on County Line Road,
Okay,
1383 County Line Road.
and is there a landmark somewhere, something
Yes,
like people would know?
it's near the intersection with Anderson Snow Road.
Oh, okay. So
Yes.
yeah, we had a guy in here that was on that road too. That Billy. So that's absolutely phenomenal. And I know we have hours.
Well, we do have hours. We have a monthly calendar that goes out because
Okay.
hours are different. We do more from Thursday through the end of the week than we do any other time, but you'd have to check our calendar
Check
for
the
hours
calendar.
because it's all over the
Yeah.
place.
It sounds like you have a ton of events that
We
are
do.
going. It's going to be.
Lots
It's
of
actually a
things
fun
happening.
time. Well, all right. Look, I know we ran over a little bit. It's not a big deal. It's my show. I can do what I want. Right. If you're interested in joining a great, I actually would like to sit and talk to you about what it would take. I know I yelled at you guys in the beginning, but it wasn't trying to be mean. I'm just trying to get you in and try to get you out. Right.
Right.
Stick around, everybody. We have more guests coming up. We'll be right back after these messages. Hey everybody, welcome back. And you know what? We've talked food, we've talked kids, we've talked helping people out, but this is another helping people out. I have got Madison, and you were from the Vincent House, right? So I know what the Vincent House is, but let's tell everybody at home what the Vincent House is.
So Vincent House is a psychosocial rehabilitation for adults with mental illness. We help them get back on their feet with every day, getting that purpose again in life. You know, mental health is a struggle all over the world, and then getting your life back in order can be one of the most hardest parts. So we're here to help them learn vocational skills, soft skills, you know, career skills, and hopefully one day get them back in the workforce.
So the co-founders, Elliot and Diane Steele, right, opened this up because they had a loved one that had a mental, I don't want to call it disease, disorder, correct?
It's a mental illness, yeah.
Illness, okay.
You say,
So
yeah.
let's expound on that because that's a big why.
Oh yeah. So they have a daughter that had schizophrenic, and they're out and open about it. And they realize that there's not a lot of mental health during those times. So they're struggling, and they decided to go around the world and look at a different couple programs for mental health that people have created. And they found Clubhouse International, which was founded in the 1940s up in New York. And they loved the model of, it's not the person they need the person. So they want to make sure people struggling with mental health they're needed, they're not just pushed aside. And that's what Clubhouse International does. I need them to help me run our clubhouse. So that was the model. And then they went all around the county to find people to help them bring this together. And in 2003, they finally opened the first doors of Vincent House, which is in Pinellas.
Right now, there's two other, correct?
Yes.
Am I correct? Do you know where those are at?
Yeah, so we are Hernando County, so we're in Spring Hill, Forest Oaks Boulevard. We're in the government center in the DMV. The other one is in Pasco on Denton Ave. You'll never miss it. Keep driving. They have a beautiful facility, or not facility, they have a beautiful building over there.
Right.
And then our third one is in Pinellas Park on 78th, I believe.
Right. So if I'm watching this and I've got a family member that has issues going on, how do they go about getting a hold of you guys?
Call us. You know, all you have to do is call us. We'll set up a tour, or just walk in. You're like a little nervous and you just want to walk in and kind of just get it over with, and we're here and we'll talk to you. You know, we're there Monday to Friday, 8 to 4.
So what types of mental illnesses can the Vincent House help handle?
So the only thing we need is an Axis 1, which could be schizophrenic, depression, anxiety, an eating disorder. So that's the basics of what you need is an Axis 1. We follow the DVM-5.
Okay.
And then, some people come with other like Axis 2, and that's perfectly fine. Most of them have dual diagnosis.
Right.
But besides that, we just need a doctor sign off of your diagnosis.
So you need to be diagnosed. You just can't walk down going, I think I'm schizophrenic.
Yeah.
No, you're just probably special and you need to go home. So you have got to go see that doctor and go, okay, and then once you get the diagnosis. And how long do you work with these people, or is this a lifelong?
It is a lifelong program, which is wonderful. A lot of people who help with mental health, it's usually like a month program or a couple weeks, and then you're back up on the road, and it's that cycle you keep living. But here at Vincent House, we have a saying, once a member, always a member.
Okay.
So
you can always just reach out, even if you've kind of gotten out of the program, but you feel you need to still talk to somebody, you can call back and go, hey.
Exactly. We're always here. We have a lot of people that, move out of state, and then when they're back here, they pop their heads in, and
Right.
we're great to see them. But yeah, always a member.
Now you guys are a 501c3?
Yes, we are.
Am I correct?
Yes.
So you are a nonprofit. Now, are you looking for people to donate either money or time, maybe?
Yeah, so right now in our space, we are a little cramped right now.
Okay.
So the volunteer right now is not exactly the point, but when we do hopefully get a bigger building, then can we have more people coming in to volunteer, and especially to see what we're doing there is what we want to spread the word. And yes, money is always something that we definitely always need, especially building a new place. It costs a lot of money that I definitely have seen now. So yeah, we are looking for room sponsors for people who would like to help.
I'm glad you said that, because my next question is this something where they come in and they stay? Or is this something they come in and they come back every day or every other day to work with? How does that work?
Yeah, so we don't provide housing at the moment. It is a goal. Pasco right now over there, they are clearing their land and they are going to build Section 8 housing apartments.
So they're going to do like a campus type style.
Kind of, yeah. You can look at it like that, yeah.
Okay.
And that's what all 3 Vincent houses, hopefully one day in the future, will all have apartments in the back of the clubhouse to help, because, housing is always a sticky situation. But yeah, they do just come in whenever they'd like. It's all volunteer hours. So maybe they come in Monday to Friday the whole day, or they do every other day, or whatever works with them.
Now, do you, and I didn't ask you this question beforehand, I should have, but do you find yourself dealing with people that are homeless versus people that have stable living facility? So
really not that much of the homeless do come in. A lot of people do have great support systems. So housing hasn't been the biggest problem. Everybody does hopefully one day to move out of the person. So that's what comes in with the apartment issues. But usually not that much of the homeless. Usually they go to another facility or a program first. And usually when they kind of get something going on, if they are homeless, that's fine. It's not going to be like, no, you can't come in. But it's usually not something that we deal with every single day.
So when you're working with these folks, do you work with them like just them, or do you actually work with the family so the family knows how to kind of support and work with,
So we don't really work with the family. We'll always source out to other people who do, but we are mostly with just the member who is there. We're working side by side with them and helping on their goals.
Wow. I mean, because you always wonder, how well is the family versed in how to deal with someone with a mental illness, because if you don't know, you get frustrated real quick.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we do get to see them for all the holidays. We're open for all the major holidays, so they do get to come in and kind of see what's happening in there. But yeah, being a family member and dealing with that is another struggle.
It's got to be rough. So if I'm watching this right now, how do my viewers say, oh, I got to go talk to Madison because I got something going on?
You can just call and be like, I would like to talk to Madison, and I can answer the phone. Or anybody there is more than willing to talk to you. We'll sit there on the phone forever. Whenever you feel comfortable, I can keep calling and reaching out. Anybody can until you're ready to take that step in and maybe just pop your head in and come for a tour.
Taking that first step is a huge thing. They can also go to the website, correct?
Yes, they can. So you can see sometimes people might think we're the only one, and they live all the way in like Pasco County. We're like, oh, surprise. You don't have to drive an hour to us. There's one right there.
Madison, thank you for coming on, huh? We appreciate it. Hey, look, stick around. We got more great guests coming up right after these messages. Hey everybody, welcome back. And you know what? Now we're going to talk about, I call it old school, and I love it, right? I love the newspapers and all that kind of stuff. But you have a community paper. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Amy Amdahl, and she's with Peddlers Post, and it's a great little paper. And I don't mean little as in belittling it, but it's quaint. It's nice, right?
Yes, it is a little paper. It is not little in distribution, though. We put out 16,000 copies in Citrus, and we're almost up to 10,000 here in Hernando, and we've just been here about 10 months. This was our 11th month.
That's amazing. It is. Yes. That's good growth.
It is.
And that's really what you want, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about, what is the Peddlers Post?
The Peddlers Post was created in 2006, and it was started with a home business, and we've kept it that way. And basically it just is a local advertising paper. We add fun facts, we add jokes and games and articles. A lot of people love our jokes. We solicit jokes from the public. We also offer free classifieds. So that's a lot of things that other papers don't, so people can send in their classifieds. They need to sell all that stuff piling up in their garage. We're the go-to. You can put it in the Peddlers Post for free. Of course, if you're a business, we charge you for that.
Well, you got to make some money, right?
Absolutely.
Exactly. And now you actually put, let me see if I get, you have jokes, games, recipes, fun facts, and community events, and so much more. So if I am reading the paper and I'm like, oh, I got an event, just call you up, email you.
Well, you can put it on our website, you can email me, or you can call me. I will have you send it in. Now, the free community events that we put up is our community board, and we do have a limitation on that. We like to keep it to 4 or 6 line minimum and about 90 words, but we do have requirements. If you're a not-for-profit, or if your event is free to the community, or if it's a paid event and it supports a not-for-profit, we'll publish it for you for free.
That is amazing.
Absolutely.
But if I'm having an event that is paid for, I can still pay you to advertise my event.
Absolutely, and we have the cheapest prices around. And if you find a documented price somewhere else, we will match it or beat it.
Wow.
And we are full disclosure on where we distribute our papers and what we charge.
So where can I find it?
Well, you can find it in a lot of different locations. Our Citrus County paper goes all over Citrus and the outskirts. Hernando goes in Hernando, and we've got it branching out into Pasco County. Nice. And we've got all of our locations on our website, an interactive map that's updated monthly. So if you go to www.peddlers-post.com, click on the pickup locations link, and there's an interactive map right there for you.
That is no, you got to buy 5, get 1.
That is a buy 5, get 1 free sale, kind of like the Subway, $5 foot long, but we do the buy 5, get 1 free, so you pay for your first 5 ads and your 6th month will be free.
Now,
we're running that through June 15th.
Oh, there you go. Let's talk about some of the stats, because your stats are pretty impressive. From start to beginning, I mean, you bought something and you've turned that around to where you got great traffic on your website, you got great traffic onto your social media. Is that correct?
So we bought the Peddlers Post. It started in Citrus County in 2006, and it branched out all into Hernando County.
Okay.
But we were getting so much growth, we had to split it up a little bit because, you know, we have some businesses way out by Dunellen, and they're not going to drive all the way to Brooksville to get a lawnmower, right? But so we had to split it up a little bit. So when we bought it a year and a half ago, we had one paper, and it was putting out about 11,000 copies into the community each month.
Okay.
The Citrus County paper then grew, and we put out 16,000 copies a month into the communities in and around Citrus County. And we started the Hernando County edition in April, where we started putting out about 3,500 papers a month. This month we are distributing 9,000 papers, and next month we are on goal to put out 10,000 papers. Our website was getting about 150 to 200 hits per month. Now we are getting between 600 and 800 hits on our website each month, and our paper is put on the website each and every month for anybody to go on, look at it, find the recipes, find the jokes, find the businesses that they want to work with. So, and then our social media had about 150 followers. We're up to about 1,100 right now on our social media in just a year and a half. And I really, honestly, haven't been focusing on that until about the last 5 months.
Right. So if I'm watching this and I'm a business, can I call you up and say, hey, I want some of those to be picked up at my business?
Absolutely. If you have high traffic, we do monitor that every month to make sure that the papers are actually leaving. So if you say, hey, I want your paper in my business, what we'll do is we'll add you to our interactive map, free advertising for you. And then if we monitor it and you're not getting rid of our papers, we're going to move them. So we want them moving. If you have a high traffic area that you think would benefit, people will go and pick up our papers, and that will be their only purpose for going there. I get calls all the time. Hey, I just stopped by this place. They're out of the Peddlers Post. Where's the next closest place? I don't have access to internet right now. They call all the time for that.
Wow. Is that you?
No, that is Penny the paper peddler. So when we bought the paper, it was an Amish carriage, and that really didn't speak to me. And I love the 50s era. And the reason I went this is I like to challenge the status quo. And when the 1950s, Penny is kind of dressed like a 1950s person. The 50s was a time where women were looked at as pinup models. They weren't looked up in leadership roles. And that was also the era where they tried to eradicate print publication. They went to media and TV. And so it didn't work. We're still here, and that's what Penny's about. I was having a hard time finding what was our new logo going to be, because I knew that the horse and carriage was not going to work with me. So I started Googling, and I found this beautiful portrait of a flower peddler. And she just was holding a basket of flowers. I was like, no, we're going to change this, and we put it in there. I also love the Notebook, so that's Rachel McAdams' kind of hairdo from the Notebook movie. And I just wanted her to give a wholesome but fun approach, because we're all about having fun here at the Peddlers Post.
That is absolutely phenomenal.
And my daughter actually created it, and then I created this for our logo release, and I just kind of carry it around with me because it's cool, and it took me about 700 rolls of crepe paper to create.
So, okay, so if I don't know if you can talk pricing or not, but if I'm a business and I want to advertise, what's the average cost?
Well, a business card starts at $62 a month. And then we do frequency discounts. If you're not doing the buy 5, get 1 free, if you do 3 months, we give 5% off. If you just want a 6-month run, that would be 10% off. And then our full page goes for $4.99. And then there's prices in between. And all of that is put on our website. You can check it out at www.peddlers-post.com.
That is absolutely phenomenal.
Yes.
I mean, okay, so I thought I knew the name, and now that you say the Amish carriage, now I know it really resonated even better, because I'm like, I used to get that all the time.
Yes. It was all over Hernando County. Back before Weeki Wachee was a state park, they used to advertise. I have every edition of the Peddlers Post. The first book was 5 pages. And it was mostly all classifieds. So it started off as your classified specialist back in 2006.
It was great. Thank you for being on. I appreciate it. You know what? I tell you, if you want to do some advertising, good advertising, that's great advertising. You know, and me and my wife are both like, we like books in our hands or papers in our hands, and we don't. Digital's great and all, but sometimes you just want that feel, right? So.
And it's good to combination of all.
Exactly.
So watch Area 52 TV and pick
there
you
you
up
go.
at Peddlers Post, and you'll be good to go.
There you go. Thanks for watching, everybody. We appreciate it. We'll be back after these messages. Hey everybody, welcome back to My Chamber TV, the Greater Hernando Chamber of Commerce edition. I didn't say that earlier with Billy, but I got Jennifer from the chamber here. So
Yes.
you're a busy girl right now.
I am.
So what's going on?
So, you know, the chamber, we put on events to help our businesses
Right.
in the community. So that's the biggest thing. So every event that the chamber puts on is to help a business grow and prosper. So if a business joins the chamber and they have other ideas, we're open. We will do whatever's going to help our community grow. So as you can see, we actually have our events planned for the whole entire year.
Oh my gosh, look at all that stuff. Holy cow.
Yes, and that's not even all of it. So, but always visit our website or follow us on Facebook. That's the best way to find out what's going on. We try to work with everyone. So if you can't come to a B2B, a business-to-business networking meeting
Right.
at lunchtime that Michael Kangemi puts on,
Yep.
then come out to one of our breakfasts.
That's number one.
Yes. So our breakfasts are actually the fourth Wednesday of every month at Silverthorne Country Club.
Okay.
We get anywhere close to 150 people, sometimes over that. So we always have a great speaker, a great
Okay.
sponsor. And if you can't come to breakfast, you can't come for a lunch event, guess what? The chamber does mixers. We do quarterly mixers. We do ribbon cuttings. There's so much that the business entities can get involved in. The other thing I'd like to mention is, you know, people want to know how to join the chamber, why to join the chamber. The first thing we ask is come to one of our events. See if the
Yes.
chamber's for you, because
Yeah.
honestly, the chamber's not for everyone.
Yep, right.
So we want to make sure you come out, know what we're all about, and you get out of it what you put into it.
So that's the most honest thing I've ever heard a chamber person say.
Yes.
Just to be honest, because it's like, you know, normally it's everybody needs to be a part of the chamber. No, sometimes it's not a good fit.
No, honestly, if it's not going to benefit you in some way, we would rather you know that ahead of time.
Right.
So we like to sit down with new members, go over what the chamber offers. You know, that's what we're here to do. We're here to support you. And we have the Small Business Development Center.
Right.
If you're a new business in our community, it's free for you. Why wouldn't you take advantage?
Right.
Meet with one of our representatives, which is Bill Burnham currently.
Okay.
And he's a great guy. You sit down with him. He wants to know where you're at, where you're going, what you want for your specific business,
Right.
and then join the chamber.
Right.
So this way you get all your ducks in a row,
Yep.
and then we help those ducks continue to grow and
Right.
move along. Yeah.
So we walked around at the mixer, no, not the mixer, but the business
Expo.
and Jennifer was doing all these interviews, and I'm telling you, the camaraderie in this chamber is really good.
Well,
really, really good.
What I love about Hernando County and even our surrounding businesses is it's a collaboration.
Right.
We want each other to succeed. Like, I get chills saying that because
Right.
it's true. We want to make everyone work together. And if I can't help you, I'm going to find someone that can.
Right.
That's what I'm here for.
Right.
So yes, I put on all the events at the chamber, but my chamber events are here to help local
Right.
businesses.
Now you have a big one coming up.
We do. We have Hernando Untapped.
I'm
It's-
excited. I'm actually just got excited because you were telling me about it. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be so
Yeah,
cool.
Hernando Untapped is our beer and wine festival. So we
Okay.
have local and surrounding area beer and wine vendors come out, and you actually get to sample their products. And what we've done in the past few years is we actually have a People's Choice Award. So
Nice.
when you come out, you actually get to pick your favorite beer, which is
Really?
wonderful. We have a VIP section. So if you get VIP tickets, you're going to have exclusive food, you're going to have exclusive certain drinks, and you're also going to have an area that's just for you, which is great. Our VIP section, I can't tell you how many people last year got general admission and
Yeah.
actually upgraded to VIP.
Can I upgrade, please?
Yes, we had a lot of people upgrade because there's so many great things that again, Michael Kangemi is in charge of my
That's
VIP
two.
area.
Good job,
Yes, he
right?
is. Michael does a great job with our VIP area.
Right.
So he's so good with our local food and restaurants. And
So how long have you been doing this one? The
so
Untapped.
Untapped, this is actually our 8th annual
Nice.
Hernando Untapped Beer and Wine
Nice.
Festival. The other thing that we have, for those people who have not been up to Tallahassee
Right.
with our local government and, you know, those who help our community, on March 27th and 28th, we're
Okay.
doing an overnight event in Tallahassee. It's called the Day at the Capitol.
Sleepovers.
Yeah, it's great because you only if you're going to go both days, you only pay a $10 registration fee because we don't want it to be too expensive and you have to
Right.
pay for your hotel.
Right.
So normally we rent a bus and we take everyone up there. It's a rush day, but this is a 2-day event. The first night we're going to be in the governor's area where we're going to have a banquet, and it's not anything, you know, elaborate or anything, but what we're doing is we're bringing in local representatives that they can talk like you and I are right now. You can have one-on-one with
I
your
wanna sit
local
down with Ron.
representatives. Yeah.
I want to sit down with Ron. I got some things I'm like, A, I'm going to congratulate him, and B, I'm like, you know, if we do this, because I'm sure he hears that all the time. You know, if we do this.
Yes. Well, I mean, sometimes us as little people, we want to be heard too, you know? But the beauty of it is you can tour Tallahassee. You can see everything that goes on up there. And I did it, honestly, for the first time last year. And there was not enough time in one day to get it all
Really?
in. So I'm looking forward to going
So
back.
you drive your own car up?
You drive your own car up. We
Get your
have
own hotel.
room reserved. So we
Okay.
have a hotel that you can get a discounted rate,
Nice.
$10. But if you decide you want to come up on Tuesday, the 28th, we will have guest speakers. That is timed. We'll
Okay.
have an agenda for them, and we'll provide lunch, and that will cost you. If you're a chamber member, it's $50. If you're a non-chamber
Okay.
member, I think it's $80. But this way you can still come up and be a part of our event, and even if you just want to come up for the
And
day.
that's going to be all on the website, right?
Absolutely. We have a home and garden show. We have a health and wellness expo.
What?
We are bringing back, which I don't believe it's been done since 2014. It's called the Plain Old BBQ. It's a barbecue event that's going to be
Nice.
family friendly. So we look forward to that. And that's going to be in May. We're going to have our golf outing, our gala. So all of our events are planned. We're also doing blood drives here at the Chamber quarterly because we
Okay.
want to support both Life South and One Blood.
Mm-hmm.
So this is our way. They're going to be at our events, but this is a way to also help promote them and get people to get involved.
That is absolutely phenomenal.
Well, thank
So,
you.
so who is the person that's in charge of the membership now?
So Michael Kangemi handles new members. He also handles the business-to-business
Yes.
networking. We have Jordan at the front desk, who is our information specialist. She'll answer any questions.
Okay.
Morris Porton is our president and CEO.
He's awesome.
He is amazing.
Yes.
We have Linda, who's our office manager, which is great. And then I'm your senior event specialist. It's hard to believe the chamber is run by 4.5 people.
Yeah, that it blows me away the amount of events and things that are going on, and it's done by 4.5.
You know why? Because we thrive off our volunteers, and thank you to whoever and all of the people that work with our ambassadors, people
Right.
who come out and volunteer for our events. The
They're
chamber
important.
would not succeed without
Exactly.
volunteers. So
Exactly.
thank you to everyone who helps us.
And Jennifer, thank you for being on. We appreciate it.
Thank
so everybody
you.
stick around. You know what? We got more great guests coming, or this might be the end of the show. It depends on who all shows up today. We'll be right back after these messages, or we'll see you next week on My Chamber TV.